Hey guys, how's it going? It's me, Richard Planker from the Puppet Geek, and today guys I got you the review of the SteelSeries Stratus controller. Now what this is a Bluetooth gamepad controller for your iOS device, being iPad or iPhone, or even, iPod Touch. Now what's cool about this is SteelSeries has taken a fully fledged, controller and put it into the palm of your hands. Now what's really cool, if you haven't used a gamepad controller yet on your iPad, it is actually pretty good. Now especially with some games like shooter games and everything, it makes it a lot more easier to actually have a controller in your hands rather than using the touchscreen on the iPad, because it can get a bit cumbersome while you're controlling it, hitting other buttons, whereas everything is all in the controller itself. As mentioned, the controller uses Bluetooth, so you're going to get about 10 hours of use for this, and I think that's plenty of gaming on your iPad. Any more than that, I think you would go pretty crazy. The Stratus controller also has this cover right here which helps protect the actual controller itself, which is actually really nice. But at the same time, if you remove this, you can put it on the back of the controller, and it actually sort of makes it into a bit more convenient, when actually holding it, because the Stratus controller is actually really quite slim and feels a bit awkward when actually holding it into your palm of your hands, because it just doesn't have that sort of grooves which controllers do have. Now when you actually put the cover on the back, it sort of sits in there and actually has these little indents on the side here, which makes it a lot easier to hold the controller. Now if you do have quite large hands, it may feel quite cramped. As you can see here, already my hands are quite tight on the actual controller, like everything fits right there, which is perfect I guess, but at the same time, depending how you have your iPhone or iPad situated, it may feel a bit awkward at the same time. On the controller you got two analog sticks right here, which is really nice and quite sensitive, which makes it really great for shooter games. You also got 4 action buttons right here, which are shaped in the Xbox controller way, X, Y, B and A, so if you play Xbox you may be familiar with that. And also a dialogue stick right here, so obviously up, down, left, right. At the back you've got 4 additional action buttons, which are L1, R1, L2 and R2, which is really nice for obviously left trigger, right trigger. And they feel really nice, really spongy. Also it feels like a controller. Now I've tested and played with other gamepads also, and I find that it just, especially the cheaper ones, they just don't have that feel to it. Like, they feel quite cheap. The controllers, the buttons don't respond quite well, whereas the Stratus controller actually worked really nice. The only downside to this is that even though there is a big range of games already available for the SteelSeries Stratus controller, or like many other gamepad controllers, not many developers are taking advantage of it. So it's really a hit and a miss, if you do have your favorite game and it doesn't have gamepad compatibility. I'm sure it's a matter of contacting the developer and see if they might actually release it in the update. Whereas most games right now don't actually have the compatibility of using a gamepad controller, but at the same time, most games on your iPad or iPhone wouldn't actually need it. Now from memory, this actually retailed for about $80. It is quite expensive. I believe it's gone down in price since then, but at the same time, for $80 for such a small thing, it is quite an investment to get. Is it worth it? It depends on how much games you actually play on your iPad or iPhone, and which actually utilizes the gamepad functionality on the iOS. Now if you do play a lot of shooter games, which I've been playing Dead Rising, Dead Trigger. Dead Trigger. And as you can see here, it was really amazing. I connected it through my Apple TV and was playing it through there, which actually made the screen even bigger, and I was able to actually play the game sitting on the back of my couch rather than being restricted to the iPad screen. So it's something also to consider that you could actually turn your iPad into a gaming device if you have this controller. Now SteelSeries has also announced that you can actually do multiplayer games, but it's a matter of having if the actual game supports multiplayer and the gamepad software, which will utilize that sort of ability to play multiple games on the Stratus controller. Anyway guys, thanks again for watching. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. It really helps me a lot. And if you are new to my channel and want to see more content, hit that subscribe button to be notified when I actually publish a new video. Anyway guys, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.